All right, welcome back to the rest of the story. I spent all day working on the booms of this top air sprayer, and I went through and added a bunch of new parts and rerouted the hoses for the chemical, just because the way it was routed before was completely ridiculous. You did see my terrible job of patch welding, which I'm gonna put this in the category of farmer fix, because yeah, the bearings are shot, but this whole piece here was getting grooved out, and to do exactly what I'm looking for it to do, all I did was put a couple beads on each side of it. So on the boom, this boom in particular, the other side is fine. This boom, when it folds out, it needs something for this roller to hit against to keep the boom from wanting to actually pull backwards. So really not pretty. I don't care. It's functional, especially for what I paid for this sprayer and for the amount of work that I'm actually going to do with this and what I'm all spraying. It'd be one thing if I'm going to spray a couple thousand acres in the year, but I'm really just looking at applying some nitrogen, maybe doing some burn down, and if I get a chance to, I do want to go through and actually spray some pastures. The plan is for the pastures is to keep the booms folded. I'm actually going to be spraying some of my nitrogen by doing this, because I rerouted the 3 sections. They are coming from the front into these filters. I got to replace these 2 filters. They're locked up. I can't open up. Somebody's already tried to open them up with a pipe wrench, and I'm just going to replace them. The middle one is fine. I checked that. I can open it and everything. So that way this one is wired in, so it is just on the middle section. The reason that is so that way I can actually put down some nitrogen on some narrow waterways. Yes, I'm actually going to, not necessarily even waterways, but I'm actually going around one of my fields and I'm seeding down part of that. So I'm going to want to be able to put down some fertilizer probably July or whenever I get around to do it. I don't even know like a certain time frame. It's basically just once I get it cut. If I decide that conditions merit going through and putting a little bit of liquid encouragement onto some of my grass that's coming back up, so I can get a decent second or third, potentially third cutting off of it, I'm going to. Part of it is on some of the ground that I'm doing is ground that was corn. It's part of a headland. It's heavily wooded on the western side of it. Did not yield that great when it was corn last year. And because of the number of acres of waterways, I got probably 3 or 4 acres of waterways on the place because they're needed, not just because I want them there. By having a 20 or 30 foot grass strip around the whole piece, it's going to allow me to go around and get to all the waterways, and I can make all those waterways, because when we have cattle, it's feed, and if I'm paying rent for the waterways, I'm going to get my money out of them one way or the other, and that's I'd say a pretty efficient way of doing it, making the hay off of them. So they did go through some of these T-jet nozzles. Yeah, they are the interchangeable, where you can put 3 different nozzles on them and spin them around. Not that big of a deal to me, because some of them are kind of locked up, and I do have some single. Actually, we can pull this right around. And you guys actually can see a little bit what I mean there. This bearing, I could go through and change the bearing, but my problem is not because it's having an issue moving, it's actually because it moves too much. So, I mean, if I had an issue unfolding this, I'd say, yeah, go ahead and do the bearings. Probably not the most sensible, efficient way to do it, but I'm going to go ahead and make that call. The hose here was actually routed really stupid like. I do have a cable tie going to it. It ran 2 separate hoses, actually ran around and connected these 2 nozzles to the center. I didn't like that because of the explanation I just gave you. It's going to allow me to actually spray my pastures too, because I do not want to spray my pastures with the booms out, because I do not want to destroy the booms. The far one, that one, if you can see, it does have a little bit of a tweak to it. I didn't notice that initially, but it'll spray. I mean, it's not terribly bent. I mean, I've seen them a lot worse. So yeah, I do have the nitrogen streamers on right now. I'm going to replace those, and probably going to go ahead and just put the the regular spray nozzles on for the time being. Let's see here. Had to go up. I did put some new, that's actually what the new hose is for. Otherwise, I did go through and reuse a bunch of the old hose that was on here, just because I had a bunch left over from re-plumbing it. So that is good. I went underneath somebody took it on me. Doesn't matter. Yeah, you can see all my spare parts. These are all the original hoses that were on it, and I just actually cut off the good sections, you know, that aren't like tweaked or whatever else, and I did remove all the patches. I had a bunch of T's that were in some of these sections that ran off and actually just ran back to themselves. It was really weird, but I fixed that problem, and yeah. So as you can see here, same thing. I actually rerouted this hose and I ran it to make sure certain already after I folded it up that it wasn't going to get down by these rollers and get chewed up, because that's exactly what was happening with the old ones. I have not run this sprayer yet. We did go through. It did need a new shutoff. It actually had two. It had well, actual shutoff out here. The bar's gone too. But I did actually have a shutoff out here where I could control it. It means nothing to me. I can reach under and I can turn on and off with the handle right there. The pump is shaky. It's shaky at best. My problem with that is I just got a little bit of a leak, a hydraulic leak. It runs. I don't know at what efficiency. We'll know once we actually get this sprayer up and ready to run. And I'm hoping that, once again, probably not what everybody would like to hear when it comes to fixing some of this stuff. I don't know what that motor is actually going to take to fix. I know I can get it from my parts guy, my friend Ryan. He already said he can get me one, but I'm already sticking enough money in the sprayer and both that rake. I'll show you what's going on with the rake real quick here. That I just, for what I want to spray with it, I don't think I need to put another $700 and $1,000 into this sprayer. So, lights, same thing with the lights. They're corroded, the ends are bad. Not this one. This one is full of junk. So I'm actually, the hose or the wire is actually crushed right there. So my plans are, I'm gonna go back here. I'm a little bit of an electrician. Electrical doesn't really bother me too much, but it's a simple patch job. I'm gonna cut the connectors off and I'll just connect them properly. It is kind of cracked out here. I don't know if the lights actually work, but if they're on, I want to at least try to get them running. This sprayer I'm hoping I'll have up and running, or at least ready to be unhooked from the 46 by tomorrow. The sun that's actually hitting us right now was actually unexpected. And you see the clouds back there. It was a storm system that just came through. We were supposed to get dumped on a lot worse than what we were. The hydraulic hoses definitely need to be rerouted and probably cable tied up. And then I gotta drop this off so I can work up here. I have a different hydraulic fitting, so I don't have to use that adapter anymore. And then the flow meter, and I gotta actually go back up and get these fittings because I got the wrong fittings. But overall, a little bit of running the wires, and I think that'll be up and running before too long. Now all the noise that's going on in here, that would be my Uncle Kevin abusing my hay rake.
Yes.
We did actually find, you can see it right there, we got an issue. The pin that they're trying to get out. What's that? It's either in the parts bin or it's in the toolbox. But that joint there is bad. And then Dad did go through and he put all the teeth back on the rake. Works pretty slick. Nothing hits, right? Or was?
Yeah, nothing hits.
Yeah. So we did go through, got all the clips, and I think I'm just in the way right now. So, all right. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for watching. The sprayer, you can see the boom issue right there, but it's actually really negligible, so we're not going to worry about it. So, you guys are watching the rest of the story. Take care, take it easy, keep in touch. I'll talk to you guys later.